The latest and greatest from OnePlus is here. You guys know the deal, this here is not our full review, but before our full review, we're going to be taking a look at some of the great and not so great things about the brand new OnePlus 9 Pro. Let's start off with hardware and design. The 9 Pro, as expected, is built very well. It's a glass and aluminum sandwich which make up a not so small phone, but it is much easier to hold than other phones with a similar footprint. It's narrower than most phones in this range, and paired with this curvature, it's actually a comfortable phone to use. The camera bump looks classier this time around in my opinion, and it doesn't protrude as much as the 8 Pros did. Of course, you've got the usual goodies like the alert slider, IP68 dust and water resistance, stereo speakers, and high quality haptics. Everything comes together nicely for a solid and premium device. This display is nothing short of awesome. It's big, it's bright, crisp, super clean, and super smooth. It's still rocking the hole punch cutout, and unlike the regular 9, it is a curved panel, but the curves are not nearly as dramatic as the 8 Pros. I think they struck a nice balance here. It's got the specs you know, love, and would want, but on top of that, the comfort tone feature is very nice to have with its ability to adjust color tones based on different lighting conditions. And according to OnePlus, this is the first phone display that can scale down to 1 Hz from 120 Hz, and it's more power efficient, using up to 50% less power than screens from last year, so that's pretty impressive. Performance on the 9 Pro is top-notch. Of course, with specs like this, you should expect nothing less. With the latest Snapdragon 888 processor, Adreno 660 GPU, and either 8 or 12 GB of RAM, it's going to be kind of hard to find something that you can do to bog this thing down. Multitasking, playing games, even the fingerprint scanner, everything is quick, everything is smooth. Now this goes for charging as well. Now we're talking 65 watt wired charging. With this, OnePlus claims a 0 to 100% charge in about half an hour, which is insane, especially when considering the size of this phone's battery at 4,500 milliamp hours. And on top of this, the 9 Pro has 50 watt wireless charging capabilities. OnePlus claims a 0 to 100% charge in just under 45 minutes with their charger, which is bonkers. It's pretty crazy how charging speeds like this can help with the flow of daily tasks. It's super convenient. Now the biggest selling point of the 9 Pro, at least the OnePlus, is this new partnership with Hasselblad in an effort to take a huge leap forward in mobile photography. And well, while there's a decent amount to say about that, one thing that really stood out is color accuracy. We really like what the cameras can push out when it comes to colors, which is great, especially seeing how proud OnePlus is about this. There's a lot more to talk about here, and we'll talk about the cameras more in the full review. Now in our full written review, Ryan stated that the Hasselblad colors are great and much closer to what the eye sees. I do encourage you to give that review a read to learn more about the new OnePlus 9 Pro. Before we move on to the not so great things, I just wanted to give a shout out to this video's sponsor, Dbrand. They make awesome looking skins for all kinds of devices, and I've actually been using their skins on a number of my devices for a long time. They really have something in here for everyone. So be sure to check out all of their skins, their cases, and even screen protectors by using the very first link down below. So as for the not so great stuff, we're starting off with the fingerprint scanner location. Interestingly enough, the 9 Pro's fingerprint scanner is placed a decent amount lower than where it's been on previous OnePlus devices. It's not the best ergonomically, as you have to hold the phone in a specific way to nail the scan. The scanner itself is fine, it's fast and accurate, but it's uncomfortably close to the bottom of the phone, and it will take some time to get used to, especially if you're used to the placement on previous phones. Something that was a bit surprising was the battery life. Luckily, battery life can't necessarily be labeled bad, but so far it's been on the inconsistent side of things. For me personally, I noticed this right away and thought it might have been my usage or my unit, but Ryan, who put together our written review, experienced battery life performance that varied as well. Now it's not like you won't be able to make it through a full day of use, it's just worth noting that day-to-day battery performance out the gate hasn't been what it's been before. Perhaps it's something that can be helped with a future update. As I mentioned before, we will get much deeper into the cameras in our full review, and you can of course see more details in our full written review, but as of now, it's safe to say that, well, OnePlus's Hasselblad partnership isn't all it's cracked up to be. OnePlus placed a ton of hype around these cameras, and as Ryan stated, while the partnership is a little more than just a logo tossed on the back of the phone, OnePlus has a long ways to go. So while it's worth mentioning that there are some welcome changes and adjustments from last year's cameras, OnePlus has some work to do if it wants to take out the competition. Reliable long-term software updates are already something difficult to come by in the world of Android, and OnePlus's commitment of 2 years of OS updates, 3 years of security updates, and security patches every 2 months isn't helping anything. In addition to that, OnePlus has become notorious for inconsistent releases, a lot of which haven't exactly been the highest of quality or exactly bug-free. This is something Samsung has over OnePlus with their 3 years of OS updates and 4 years of security patches, and more robust and reliable ones at that. This really shouldn't be a problem for a phone of this caliber and a phone of this price. While it'd be pretty silly to ask for OnePlus to sell this premium high-end hardware for the prices they once sold phones for, there's still something to say about the 9 Pro's $970 price tag. No matter the phone, a price this high is a tough pill to swallow. This is a great phone in and of itself, but it becomes difficult to recommend at just under $1,000. And not only because of the downsides it does have, but also because the competition continues to get heavier, and the need to drop this much in order to get something high-end is basically non-existent at this point. Another thing that's worth pointing out is that if you want to take advantage of the 50-watt wireless charging, you'll need to pick up both the charging stand and the wall adapter, which combine for a little over $100. Yeah, I know. Make sure you keep an eye out for more coverage of both the OnePlus 9 and the OnePlus 9 Pro. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the Android Police channel if you're new, and make sure you hit those post notifications as well. It's been Zach, I'll talk to you guys later, and thanks for watching.